next subject. Went to school in South Dakota, and I learned some lessons along the way. And one of the biggest lessons that I learned when I was on an internship, my first daggum internship. Wow. And my first internship, I ended up in the streets. I ended up in the streets, believe it or not, on my first internship. So I got a. It was in Denver, Colorado. Uh, I'm not going to name the company, and it was on the south side. I had to travel all the way to the south. It was in Parker, Colorado. It was around the place I ended up having to travel. I didn't have a car at the time. Well, I did have a car, but that thing wasn't. The Jangalang. I was on that Jangalang car situation. So I didn't have a car, and then I had to figure out transportation. So my ass was hip hopping and scopping, walking, getting to and fro to make this work. The internship didn't pay for shit. They wanted some cheap ass labor, especially for where that was located. That was a very affluent place. The rent in that location was very, very expensive. So the lack of supplementation on the side of even being an intern or what have you, maybe you do have roommates, it was still a lot. I remember some of these kids were they had signed for $4 or $5,000 leases, just crazy for like a 2 month internship. And I said, I can't. I'm broke. What? How do you? They must be rich niggas. I don't know. And especially not getting paid that amount of money. That's interesting how that could be afforded. But what ended up happening is I moved in with a my best friend's brother. So I thought it was going to be cool. I knew he was a little cuckoo. Obviously, all family. I ain't gonna say nothing. Everybody's got personalities. I don't. I'm not gonna say anything because I really do. You can learn something from every situation. And I definitely learned something from this situation uh, because by the same. So when the internship started, it was in May. They you know how it works when you get a new job. You don't get paid, and it's frustrating because obviously I'm in school. I had jobs at the school. I had to leave that job at the school or what have you to go in, and I'm in between jobs basically. Is the situation that I was in, and I didn't even have any money to, and this is where I feel a little distraught, if you will. I didn't even have any money to give them any rent. I didn't have shit. Obviously, I was a college student at the time, and it was fine, obviously. And I told him as soon as I get paid, I'm gonna chip you off, bro. You already know, niggas ain't that greedy, and niggas ain't that grimy. The frustrating part is me spending all this fucking money on transportation and everything else. I was losing my ass. I was losing my booty hole trying to get from the job to from because I was all the way up in Westminster. So I was trying to get from Westminster to Parker, Colorado every motherfucking day on my booty cheeks by myself, 10 toes. And that shit wasn't working. That shit was not working. It was not. It was not. And the company also, instead of me getting paid every 2 weeks, well, these motherfuckers decided not to pay me at all. At the fuck all. Believe it or not. They decided to not pay me at all. And that's a whole nother. I'll have to save that tangent for a whole nother damn story. Because literally. But long story short, I ended up getting into a little bit of a disagreement with old bro over some petty ass shit, bro. Over some dummy shit, bro. The nigga text me or some shit or whatever. I was like, nigga, we can hash this out or whatever when we get back to the tub. I ain't tweaking on it or whatever. Nah, this nigga at the tub tweaking, bro. That's what happens when you, and I recognize it myself. That's what happens if you spend, I think that if you're, anyways, ruminating is the word. But what ended up happening is this nigga pulled out the stick and proceeds to, I get home from work and he's tweaking. I gotta bring it full circle. I get home from work, he's tweaking. He's like, you gotta go or whatever. I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to go, nigga? Whatever. We have a little disagreement or whatever. And then the nigga pulls out the glizneezy, cuz the nigga pulls out the whole piece, cuz the whole stick. And nigga, if you gonna pull the stick out, nigga, you better pull the trigger, cuz. So me and him ended up tussling. Long story short, ended up dipping out. We was cool. He knew he was he knew he was in the wrong in that situation, to say the least. And that there was other methods of solving the problem. It wasn't that big of a deal. Whatever the problem was, it wasn't irrevocable. I didn't rob his ass. At the end of the day, I didn't take anything that wasn't mine. It wasn't a reason that, as a decent human, you say, I can't trust this motherfucker no more. You got to get the fuck out. It was nothing like that. Let me tell you that it was far from that. It was nitpicky. So, but what I learned from that situation is, and my frame of state now is, I done already got kicked out and been homeless. So I don't give a fuck anymore. that brings you such a state of blissness and peace, because the only thing next to you, the only thing guaranteed is fucking death. That's what any happiness, being in love, all this shit is fucking fleeting, man. All of the shit's fucking fleeting. And once you go to the bottom of the you ain't got shit. You in a different. I didn't live there. I didn't live in Colorado. I found out later that my grandmother lived in Colorado, and I was pissed about it. I was pissed about it. I love my grandma now, but I was really pissed about this shit, because fucked up, obviously, shit happened in my life. But and it was funny. It was just kind of it was serendipitously unfunny, is what it was. But I was homeless and I had a grandma, and anyways, I could have stayed with her or what have you. Still would have had to figure out that train situation. But the thing about it is that once you reach that point, what is there? What's like below that? I mean, you're gonna be a crackhead. You can be a crackhead if you want to. Nobody's stopping you to be a crackhead. But it's a great place to grow from, because now nothing can empirically. I have not problems. I have moments in the day where or times where I get down on myself or what have you. I'm a human being just like anybody else, but in general, you're not gonna die. You just gotta realize that, like, you're not gonna die. So, and I could have died. And in that situation, I could have fucking died. So, like, I'm past the point. So I've reached the point of an interesting place of I've conquered death. Not even conquered death, but conquered that fear of death to a certain degree. And that's why I'm pissed off right now, because I can't. They're not. The way that they calculate the money on the tube ain't tubing to be correctly, and I'm a little bit frustrated about that. But at the end of the day, That's my reference point. And I don't know what anybody's reference point, or if you can make like that your reference point, that's it makes you like so realize that nothing matters. And I don't know. So that's why I'm not going to give up. I'm not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I don't think I'm a 95 nigga. I know I'm not a 95 nigga. So I like talk too much shit. Y'all should have seen me in the Chick-fil-A line, but that's another story. But that's just about all I got, guys. You already know what the deal is. Run on your toes, keep your mouth closed, lock your doors, and save your throws. And most importantly, you live to fight another day. I'm going to get out of here.